and welcome to J. Sanders Studio in downtown Raleigh. For those of you who have not been to my space, my name is Jack Sanders and I have an art studio in downtown Raleigh, North Carolina, in an amazing space called Art Space that has several different galleries and artist studios. So my studio is on the second floor in this beautiful space where I get to both make work as well as show my work and share it with visitors that come from our community. So I absolutely love having a creative space that's outside of my home, being able to interact with the community, show pieces in progress, so show finished pieces. But I really started thinking at the beginning of 2022, as many business owners do, what things do I want to change? What things do I want to keep doing? And the biggest thing is I love being a local business. I love being a local artist and sharing my work with our community. But realistically, especially as my social media presence grows, as my newsletter grows that I share every week about my studio process, I'm seeing that a lot of people are following along my journey that don't necessarily live in Raleigh or honestly even North Carolina. So you don't get these week by week or month by month updates of what I'm doing in the studio. So that is why I'm starting this new series. I am super excited, a little bit nervous, but more so excited because I wanted to create a video series really just documenting my creative process, documenting this space, documenting individual pieces as they come to life, and really demystifying the creative process for people following along on my journey through my newsletter, social media, etc., especially if you can't come down to the studio all the time. So I'm a little nervous in terms of the art creation process because I feel like for me, it really comes in waves. I might get a few weeks of super focused art making, and then I take a few weeks to focus on admin tasks, newsletter, website, the podcast that I co-host called the Art Studio Insights podcast, all my membership for artists that I co-host called the Level of Artist membership, where I share business practices with fellow artists. So really trying to balance those admin tasks with the art creation process has been a huge struggle as I grow my art business. So by doing a series like this where I have consistent updates to share with the world about my studio practice, also instilling in me that accountability of making artwork on that consistent basis. So I'm not really sure in terms of the frequency of videos, but I'm excited to document it throughout this year and beyond. So with that, let me go ahead and just give you a quick look at what the studio looks like right now so that as you come back for these videos, you can see where it evolves into. So the way I currently have my studio space set up is when you first walk into the door, there's kind of two sides. The side on the right, which is right behind the camera here, is kind of my display wall of artwork. So these are all finished pieces that are all priced, labeled, already listed on my website, available for sale, as well as a shop area that has more of my art products, the color catchers, the quote cards. And these is really helpful to have a space where people, when they come visit the studio, they know exactly where the finished pieces are. And then ones right behind me on this side, it's more of my workstation. So this is where I keep all of my materials, all my raw materials like paper and canvases, as well as sketches and works in progress. So right now I'm working on a large series of mini paintings. So they're 4 inches by 4 inches by 2 inches, which I'm really enjoying doing as I do some study compositions for a larger series I'm hoping to build or will be building this year. But it's really nice having the two sides divided so that then in the middle, it's all workstation space. Because that's the biggest thing as an artist is just give me a huge blank room and it'll grow into what I need it to be. So that's the setup that is helping the most right now. As I start making more work in the new year, art storage has been a huge discussion and top of mind for my studio, because in the past, I've been very fortunate enough to, if I complete a series, having various spaces to either exhibit it at, so it wasn't in my studio, or having collectors give pieces new homes, which I absolutely love. But now that I'm starting to make more work, have multiple exhibitions going up at one time, as well as come down at one time, I need more art storage. So I had a desk built in the back of my studio for admin work that now I'm then converting to art storage. That has been super, super helpful. But right now, this layout's working well, and I'm excited to see how especially this works in progress wall behind me evolves over the next couple of weeks in particular. So this wall is my display wall. As you can see, there's a handful of finished pieces here, and this is my more shop type area. I think in the next week or two, I actually do want to prioritize doing a new layout of this work, maybe switching out newer pieces and putting some of these more into the storage, kind of keep it fresh for visitors that are coming to my studio. But I think also these have been up for a few weeks at this point in the same layout. So if a visitor comes, they may think that I haven't made any new pieces, which isn't too much of an issue. But I think even in a new orientation, visitors can see artwork in a new way. Even having this piece rather than be up here, maybe putting it over here, the lighting will be different. Its relationship with the pieces next to it may make visitors and myself see new elements of it. And that's a part of exhibition design that when I studied it in college, I found super, super fascinating in terms of not just the unique beauty of individual pieces, but how a collective series or collective display can really create an experience for the visitor. So definitely see a new layout coming for this wall, especially as I start making new pieces. And I'm excited to see how that evolves throughout the year. So that is where my art studio looks like right now. It is January 20th, 2022. So if you're not already, please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page, or you can sign up for my weekly studio newsletter where I'll be sharing these videos at www.jacquelinesanders.com/newsletter, or follow me on any social media platform at JSandersStudio. Thanks for following along this journey. See you in the next video.